What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So as you can tell from the title of this video, we have a ported blower here and we're gonna be installing this on the Audi today. So hopefully this is gonna be the fix that I needed to get the car back on the road because that intercooler failed. So we have another blower with two good intercoolers in it. It does have some miles on it, but like I said, I was getting a blower, but this one is ported and polished. So we're gonna make some power with this thing. So to kind of do a little comparison for you all, because you're probably wondering what is actually the difference. This is gonna be the old blower that actually failed. So you can tell the intercoolers are very dirty down in this one. You can't really see, but there's some coolant building up in there. So that's actually what failed. But you can mostly tell from the inside where the throttle body and the inlet is. You can tell that this is ported and it's also polished as well, allowing for more volume of air to travel through the supercharger. Thus more air, more power, yada yada yada, stuff like that. And you can see from this one's super dirty on the inside and it's got like this rough surface from the factory, which just restricts more airflow. This supercharger was ported and polished and it was also rebuilt. It's got new bearings and whatever stuff goes in there. I don't know too much about superchargers, but the one thing that I have to do to put this on the car first is I actually have to change the pulleys. My CTS pulley is on this guy, the old one, and then this is just an OEM pulley. So I don't actually have a pulley tool. Last time I went to DIY or Die Tech Shop and I was able to swap the pulleys pretty easily, but we're gonna try a new technique. Apparently it's simpler, or it's easier to just take off the snout of the blowers and then just swap those and then bolt them back on. Make sure you put some new RTV and then you're pretty much good to go. So we're gonna attempt that process today before we throw this blower on. So if you don't already follow me on Instagram, you might have missed the crazy story I went through to try and get this box. I actually was waiting at my house, waiting for the box to arrive. I decided to go look for the UPS guy because I couldn't wait. I was anxious. I needed to get this thing on, get the car ready to go. Turned out he didn't actually have it, and then I had to go to the UPS facility and back to my house to try to find the guy again because the addresses were mixed up. I don't know. It was a long story. So just as a precaution, I think I'm gonna actually flow test the supercharger. I know this is kind of a janky way of doing things, but I just wanna make sure that the intercoolers are actually 100% good on this supercharger before I put it on the car and kind of drive a couple hundred miles. So I'm gonna hook it up just like this. You can see that I have a valve on this side, just water coming out of the top of the coolant loop here, and then I'm gonna have water going in here. So basically, water's just gonna flow through these intercoolers through the whole system. I'm gonna have it sitting upright on like a little box or a little bucket here, and we're gonna see if these intercoolers leak at all. I was having an issue when I was pressure testing because this bleed screw here, which is made of plastic, was actually leaking. When I went to go remove it, it started to kind of strip. That one was fine, but this one, you can kind of tell that the nose where the screwdriver would go in, it just kept rounding. So I said, screw that, not even gonna buy new ones of those. I went all out. We got some 034 metal ones that actually just came out. Try to get your hands on a set of these. Comes in a pair, I think it was like 40 bucks, but it's gonna make sure that I can be able to bleed this, take it on and off if I ever need to replace the intercoolers multiple times or whatever. But these are gonna be way better in longevity. Whose mom helps you work on your car? Let me know, guys. I'm really curious. So what we got going on here, a lot of shenanigans. There's the old blower that was on the car. This is the snout because I'm doing this kind of the ghetto way. I don't have a puller, so we're swapping snouts. This is the new blower. Basically, breaking all these bolts loose, took off the water valley tray thingy over here. Took that off, now we're just breaking all these loose. Transferring the fluid is gonna be difficult because I have it over here in a cup. This stuff stinks like crazy. But basically it's definitely a two-person job if you're trying not to make a mess and try not to get the fluid kind of into a bucket or anything like that. So what I'm doing is I'm actually holding it to the snout and the pulley's facing upward, and I'm taking off the cover and then sucking the fluid out so that I don't really make a mess over here. I'm trying to save it as well because I need to put the fluid back in here once we swap these snouts, and then we'll be good to go. Look who showed up.
Ow.
Okay.
I literally...
Does it sound that good?
It sounds amazing.
We might need to ride in it later.
Oh, we're definitely gonna ride in it later.
So Danny installed a Canon intake. And he had the stock airbox before, so it's supposed to sound like way louder than the Subaru. So we'll see. We'll see a little later. But come smell this fluid. or this oil.
What's wrong?
It might be the best smelling oil you've ever smelled in your entire life.
All right, let's smell it.
No, check this out. Okay. Take the plastic bag off that cup and then just get a good swig. Wait,
I could just smell it.
I can't even see you. This is just like so not focused. Okay.
Dude, why does it smell like straight ass over here?
Dude, I know.
Dude.
No, just take the bag off. It smells so gross. It's the, bro, why does it smell so bad?
All gear oil is like that.
It smells so gross. But basically, it snouts off of my supercharger. Now we got to put on that one.
Yeah.
All right, the only thing I was just waiting for you for the RTV when we put it back on.
Hopefully I got the right stuff. Let's see.
Well, that one's red.
Well, this is gasket sealer, so.
It's hot enough though?
Yeah, look at the temperature, 500 degrees.
Bruh, 500, I need like 8,000. So we have the ported blower all put together. Super stoked. We got the fluid filled back up, everything torqued with the new RTV. We got this coolant hardline on, throttle body, all the sensor bracket connected. All these little map sensors here as well. Well, that's not a map sensor. What is that again? That's a timing sensor or something.
Boost pressure.
What?
Boost pressure.
That. We got those all put on. There's like 3 of them. Now this thing's pretty much ready to go on. I'm actually kind of scared. Are you scared?
I'm scared for you.
Think it's gonna blow up?
Yes.
I really hope not. I really am like super nervous to throw this on here or throw it on the car.
Send it.
Full sends only.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna throw it in the car right now. Get these 6 things lined up, and then go from there. Basically, after that, torque these guys down, connect all your sensors all around, connect all these guys, these vacuum lines and whatnot. Get the coolant lines on, and then the belt. The belt is the biggest pain for me, at least, just because it's a really tight fit, getting a wrench under there to turn it. This is kind of the more difficult part, but after that I will catch up with you guys. We're not going to be starting the car tonight because we have to let the RTV settle and kind of harden before we get any fluids moving around in there. So everything is pretty much on the car now. We have the blower, we have all the sensors and vacuum lines connected, and everything's torqued down, except we need the intake tube, and then I just have to pressurize the coolant system next. But like I said earlier, I'm actually going to be waiting for the RTV to kind of harden a little bit before we push any pressure into the system there. So basically I'm going to have to catch up with you guys tomorrow morning when I start to put all the rest of this together, and then won't be able to totally fire the car until later in the day, but stay tuned for that. Everything's so close to being done. Got the inlet tube on, yada yada yada. The last thing I'm waiting to do is get the supercharger belt on so I can start pressurizing the coolant system. I'm waiting to do that because I need someone else to kind of help me push the belt over onto the pulley while I'm underneath the car tightening the tensioner. So I'm waiting for Alex. He should be here in a little bit. But something really cool I'm already noticing is the ability to be able to like loosen and tighten these bleed screws like super easy. It's just an 8mm, and then you basically can just like use your hand to tighten it and open it and bleed air pressure between the intercoolers. So it's pretty cool to be able to do that like so easily. So huge shout out to 034 for coming out with that product. Makes it so much easier. I'll link down below those screws. I think they are pretty much sold out, but there's going to be another batch of them coming out in a couple weeks, I believe. Started this shit.
You
ready?
You didn't record the fact that your boy came through like that.
Well, I already told him that I needed your help.
Yeah, well.
But we got it on.
Done. You gotta tell him, combine 2 wrenches.
Yeah, so you gotta use like a 16, which is what that tensioner is, and then you gotta use another wrench to like extend it so you can get the leverage. It's a pain in the ass.
It is a pain in the ass.
But pretty much good to start it and continue pressurizing the coolant system and kind of getting all that air out of the system. So now get all this out of here, good to go. Don't need those. Sorry, dog.
Don't need that.
What you doing with that towel? Oh, okay, never mind. Maddie, do you think it's gonna start? Speak. Say something. Speak.
She likes me more as I go.
That's messed up. All right, so we're gonna see if this thing starts. Really hope it does, because I kind of need it to. But here we go. Well, it worked. Started. So now, cycling coolant, yada yada yada. So we had a little delay. Couple days have gone by just because I've been having a leak from either the expansion tank or sort of this lower expansion tank hose down here with this like weird clip on it. Every time I fill it up and start trying to pressurize the system, coolant starts dumping out of the bottom over here and I can't really tell which is which. So I did order another expansion tank. It'll be here later this evening, and today is Thursday. So hopefully we can have the car running by Friday night. But basically right here is the bottom connector, and I think it's dumping out of here because it can't really come out anywhere else, except maybe the top, but yeah, so we're getting a new one of these, we're getting a new one of those hoses, and hopefully that is going to solve the coolant leak issue. So it is very late at night, and I'm back working on the Audi, just because we did have a leak over here by the reservoir. I wasn't able to confirm if it was the coolant expansion tank or the hose, but I decided it's better to just replace both of them. That way I have the peace of mind that it's not going to be one or the other. So here we have the lower hose to the radiator that just springs off of, or lower hose to the reservoir. Excuse me. And we have a new reservoir as well, and then we have a new cap just in case, because usually these are what actually go bad. You lose pressure and then they don't hold the pressure very well with these caps or these tanks. So let's get this bad boy installed, and then I'll catch up with you guys as I'm doing the refill process. So we are back. It is the next day again. Sorry about that this video has just been kind of spaced out over the couple days, but the car is finally ready to go. You can see over here that after I did replace the reservoir, the cap, and then that lower hose, we have no issues down here. We're completely dry, no leaking anymore. So I think that that was an issue. It's just the pressure from that air bubble kind of just finally was the last straw for this reservoir, because it was the original one. So we got a new one in here. Super stoked with that. And then I did have the car pressure or vacuum filled this morning by friends over at AE Motorsports. They really helped me set the car up early this morning, just so that I could drive it around town a little bit to make sure that it was going to be absolutely ready for the 7-hour drive tomorrow down to San Diego. So for those of you that are going to be out in San Diego at Big Socal Euro this Sunday, come say what's up. I'd love to check out your cars. Come check out the S4. And then at 2 p.m. on Sunday, it will be on the dyno. So hopefully we can make some good numbers. I don't want to jinx it, but I'm thinking we should be around 440 wheel. I'm hoping. I know that's kind of a lot to ask, but we're dual pulley, we're on E40 tune, and then we have the ported blower. So everyone else is kind of getting around those numbers, so I think it's safe to assume that I should probably make that. But yeah, I know this video has been kind of all over the place, but thanks for sticking through. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you all on the next video, and hopefully at Big Socal Euro. Peace out.